growth across the continent, I think across our continent, is to hone in on what we can be great at. So I look at places like China. So I think China's total population is obviously well over 1 billion. Africa's population is pushing to 1 billion, we're almost on those levels. But we as a continent haven't really honed in on a few specific areas that we can come together at and really do well at. You can see industry in China does very well. And then being able to set up all these different factories that service the whole world. But I would say growth for us as the people of Africa is to hone in on things that we as a continent can be phenomenal at and do together, that we can drive and deliver to the world.
Because Africa is a continent with much more perspective of development. We have got everything to do it rightly. We have got the experience, we have got the wrongdoings done, we have got all the good learning and the bad learning, and we have got the resources. Material resources in terms of natural resources, the people, active, persistent, resilient, prepared to suffer to succeed, and we start getting the right leadership. So we need to strengthen the leadership that we have, that should not look only to the short-term programs for the electoral process, but should look to the future of the country. Not only the 5 years time, because I have 5-year term, so I need to do that and show my performance. No, think about 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years. And they say, well, it's difficult to convince people that I'm doing well while I don't have fast results. No, it's difficult when you don't involve the people in the process. If the people are with you, are working with you every day, you are accountable to them, they know exactly what agenda you are performing because they are part of the agenda.
My advice for Africans or anybody from black minority ethnics is our identity, is our culture. If you are a doctor or a professor and you don't know anything about your origin or about your culture, you are an illiterate to me. No, I'm really sorry. Everything is not all about education. If you have education, you are well educated, but you don't know anything about your origin. It's not good enough. So we need to protect our culture more, much more, because our generation is the last hope for African culture. If we do not protect it now, let's say in 50 years time, or 100 years time, we won't even be talking in. Let's protect our culture because that is our identity. And that's why you see, I stand out everywhere. I don't care. I go everywhere in my flamboyant, attire, traditional outfit.
I believe that in order for growth to be achieved, everyone has to do their part. So plenty of us spend time complaining about the government, right? And all the things that government isn't doing. But government isn't perfect. Government's made up of people, it's institutions, right? So there are things that government can do well and there are things that they can't do well. But government should play its part. Private sector should also play its part. NGOs should play its part. And if every single group was working well at the things that they should do successfully, then you would see a lot more development and improvements all across the line. So I think the message that I have is, how can you do good work where you are? And how can you then use that as a catalyst to hopefully improve and grow in your city, your community, and your country, and let it spin and hopefully grow from there?
It's really, about the development of the continent, focusing on the youth. I have the good fortune to work in a field that speaks to the youth, that the youth is interested in, and we want to make sure we leverage the platform, so as long as there are young people, that are hungry, and I know we see that everywhere we go across the continent, yes, we want them to play our sport, but at the end of the day, it's about what drives them. Are they interested in achieving excellence in everything they do? At the end of the day, I think that's what's going to benefit the collective. So what drives me is really, big dreams, and the dream is about seeing Africa achieve, its potential, and that's never going to happen without the youth.
It's about time that we got that one voice and fight back if there's something wrong. Yeah, in the federation. I mean, you're in the government, in everything. Yeah, we need to speak up because nobody will do it for us. We have to speak up and then collectively just have one voice. Basically, let's talk about things that affects us. Yeah, in any form. Yeah, just one voice. That's what I think that we should have.